Today is February 16, 2026. It is 6:47 a.m. This is video, I don't know, 3 or 4. The last recording have 2 parts to it because the list was too long. So we're gonna pretty much continue. And this video, we're gonna sort of focus on MAGAs, okay? So this is the first tweet. That's exactly what's put Trump in office. Pure hate. 2 minutes and 56 seconds. Almost 2 minutes. Screenshot.
This is what racists do when they run out of tricks.
In the United States of America, you don't have to apologize for being white anymore.
And right after that racist couch humper said that, he said this.
I gotta say, ladies and gentlemen, they are not sending their best. Omar Fateh was Ilhan Omar's candidate for mayor of Mogadishu. Minneapolis.
It's amazing that we still pretending that this is not just blatant racism now. This is what you do when you have nothing else to offer the American public except hate. He's being blatant with it now. Because let's just be real clear. Nobody's asking white people to apologize for being white. Nobody. Yeah. Not a single person. Now, the people who committed atrocities should apologize. The people who created legislation to hurt other people, they should apologize. Anyone walking around with this mentality that they are better than other people simply because they white, yeah, you need to rethink all that. But no one's asking you to apologize for being white. There's a lot of good white people out here. I see them all the time. Yeah. We've been seeing them in these marches. We see them in a lot of good places. He's saying you don't have to apologize for being racist.
I'm wondering how his wife feels. I'm just wondering how his wife feels. Because his wife is not white, which makes his child... How many kids does he have? I don't know. I think he has 1. It could be more, but I'm thinking of only 1 right now. Oh my God. Throwing their dignity, their principle out the window for power. But anyway, let's continue.
So let's look at this real quick. Because think about it. These people are in charge, and have the lives of white people gotten better? Let's look and see. Do you pay white gas prices, or do you pay the same price as everybody else? Do your groceries cost more or less than the rest of us? Has your cost of living gone up or down because you're white? Did you lose your federal job? What about your medical? Are your premiums going up just like everybody else, or did you get to keep yours simply because you're white? Do you get to go in the grocery store and say, hey, my president's a racist, so I'm just going to take whatever I got to grab because I'm white? Does it work that way? Do you go to the doctor and say, hey, man, you need to patch me up for free because I'm white? Nah, it don't work that way. Your skin don't mean shit to these corporations. Your skin don't mean shit when it comes to actual living in this life, because real life matters in how the type of person that you are, period. Green is the only thing they care about.
That's right.
This dude is just throwing you the little bit of red meat that he can, because they can't and won't do anything else for you. Imagine having the power to make the lives of people who put you in power better and choosing not to.
That's right.
They control all of it. Yet your gas, groceries, cost of living, your health care, all of that shit has gone up.
I hope the UK is paying attention, because what happened in the UK, they're not going barbaric like this, like the US is, but they already have these things under control. This is what I mean. They already have the people in the UK in the box that they want. Okay? So they want to turn the US similar to the UK. Be subtle with their barbaric kind of thing. But what happened here, we sort of new to it. We know how freedom is and things like that. So we're fighting not to make it be so subtle. Make it like it's a normal thing. All right? So people are talking out. And this is why I keep on saying people need to look at what's happening in the US. Because they will sneak in this type of tactic in your respective countries, especially in Europe. Europe might be more familiar with this because some of the people during the communist days are still alive. They know how it was. Okay? So when Trump did that thing with President Obama, put Mrs. and Mr. Obama's head into a monkey and things like that, is to stir the pot, to make people angry. So what did he get? Is the opposite. A lot of white people were upset about it as well. Okay, so this is another version of it, trying to stir the pot to get people angry. When people are angry, the little people, the population are fighting among themselves the rich could just walk by and get what they want. So people are laser focused. Well, not all. Well, probably because some MAGAs are rejecting Trump thing as well. So this guy is right. So let's finish this video.
Regardless of the fact you white. So has it worked? It don't sound like it's working. It's insane that they still get to do this to y'all and y'all still fall for it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you ain't got to apologize for being white, but you should probably get this dude to apologize for making your life hell.
That's right.
Regardless of the fact that you white.
He's spot on. And this is what we're saying to white American right now. African American just want reparation and leave them alone. But you keep on instigating, and a lot of African American are not turning the other cheek. You get in their face, they'll get on your face too. Let's see some of the comments here. What is that? Evergreen post. This is how it feels to be a white conservative woman. What? What is that now? Let me pause. Let's see here. Yep, it's the couch for me. Why do liberals always attack white people? Racism is all I ever heard from liberals. I don't know. I don't see people walking around talking about racism like this. They want to be left alone. All right, next tweet. Still about MAGAs. Okay, so that's a video.
Remember when I said that your favorite...
All right, the equivocation tells me everything I need to know. Okay, favorite content creator is MAGA Exhibit A. 1 minute and 41 seconds.
Remember when I said that your favorite content creator on this app might be MAGA? Here's Exhibit A.
Is what they're saying true? Are you MAGA? I never said I was. Well, if you're MAGA, I can't support you. I can't watch your skits anymore. Okay. I have a question. When you go to watch a movie, do you look up every actor and actress that plays in that movie before you watch it to see who they voted for?
Yes. Yeah, we do. Yeah, I do. If I know somebody's MAGA, I'm not going to support them. A great example, the Melania documentary or movie, whatever you want to call it. And it doesn't even stop at movies. I'm not finna buy any products that somebody from no MAGA. I'm not finna watch any content from somebody that's no MAGA. Because that person voted to negatively impact millions of people's lives. There's nothing funny or interesting that person has for me anymore.
Well, since you won't answer me, I'm assuming you're MAGA. I vote like an adult and I live like a human. I'm not some category. I'm a person, just like you. How you vote isn't a category. It affects real people. And I realize that. I don't agree with everything anybody does. That doesn't mean that I can't enjoy a laugh every once in a while. So if you came here for politics, you can go. I'm not addressing this again.
Well, great way to let us know that you're MAGA. Not surprising though, because all you could have literally said was, hey guys, I'm not MAGA in video. Anything after that, you're trying to justify it. And here's the thing, they always want to be like, oh, I don't want to be political, but why did you make this video? If you didn't want to be political, you didn't have to make this video at all. And the thing is, you could have eased everybody's mind by saying yes or no. Literally, that's it. But you didn't do that. Instead, you made this whole drawn out skit about why you're MAGA. But y'all let me know what y'all think. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.
I don't know who both of them are. The guy who did that video and responding to the other TikTok video. Let's leave it alone. Make your judgment. Next one. Still about MAGA. All right, they're regretting. More and more people every day are throwing their red hats away or donating them to thrift stores because that's where I see tons of them lately. MAGA are waking up from Trump's lies. A lot of this could have been avoided, but like some people said, they voted for hate.
In 2 weeks, I'm done. You want to talk about regretting your vote?
I never thought I'd say that, but I regret my vote. I voted for Trump.
I voted for Trump, and I regret it now.
As a Hispanic, I voted for Donald J. Trump. Dude, I regret it so much, man.
I am regretting my vote for Donald Trump.
I voted for Donald Trump, and now I regret it.
A lot of people who are like me who voted for Trump and have to account for that.
I regret voting for Trump.
So deeply regret my vote for Donald Trump.
I regret voting for Trump.
I was a dumbass, voted for Trump. It was the worst decision I ever made.
I've seen the light, and I got out of MAGA. A lot of us there have seen the light. We have deep regrets.
I feel guilty because I voted for Trump twice. I feel very guilty because I feel responsible. That's why he's still running.
I was with Trump for 9 straight years. I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed in Trump right now.
It's about time. It's insane how long it takes people to finally wake up from their brainwashing. Yeah, it had. I don't think, is that real? No, I think they just put it there. What is it? At least they're getting the hint, but we could have avoided all of this. I'm noticing more and more every day, especially since the Epstein files are being released, him posting the racist Obama video and the economy. Okay, just like I was saying. Yeah, more people are being upset. They don't, I really don't know why they voted for him, but it's like, how did we get from Obama to him? All right, lies and American first died. Okay, I voted to be racist, not poor. All right, whatever that is. Let's move on. Next tweet. Next one. All right, let's pause. Ever MAGA cult followers in Texas are turning on Trump. I'm thinking if Trump tried to run again and come with a lie and persuade them, most likely they will vote for him again. It's like it's so easy to persuade many of these people who you thought would have got the hint. Okay, I read that 2 minutes and 5 seconds screenshot. They were going to his rallies, laughing, dancing.
So I accidentally just got the Skippy video. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please, I'm begging you. I'm telling you right now. Don't go look it up. Okay.
Skippy video? What's that?
It was sent to me by someone who had good intentions, and they wanted me to call it out on my platforms because I have such a huge following on my Instagram and Facebook. This message is for President Trump.
Maybe what they did
to
the kids?
Earlier today, P.S. Trump, fuck you. I'm going to say that. Earlier today, you said it's time for us to move on from these Epstein files. The fuck are you talking about? Who's been arrested? Who's been arrested? There are people currently right now, like the Skippy, who is in the government. And if you can watch that video and hear that child,
I'll look it up.
And say we need to move on. You are worthless in my eyes until you do something. You're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. We need to burn this motherfucker to the ground until every single person that was involved in this guys, I know my platform isn't political. Goddamn, I feel like at this point, if you're not saying anything, you're complicit. Like you're okay with what happened to these women, these children, these young boys, these men. And it was done by the highest powers in government. It was done by the most powerful people that are supposed to protect.
What did I tell you guys? Okay, people who live outside of the US. I've told you. I told you. Okay? You mess up with dogs or children, you are done. You are done. Right now, I think a good portion of Americans will rather burn everything down to get to those mother effers for what they did at the Epstein thing. This is their biggest mistake. Okay? Too many kids were mistreated, violated, and all of that. Let's continue. Look at this grown man. Probably was a MAGA, I'm thinking, but whatever they saw regarding the Epstein file, they can pass that.
I'm begging you, don't go listen to the video. I wish I'll never forget it. I turned it off as soon as I kind of got an idea what I was watching. But that's something I will never get out of my head.
So I cannot share it with you.
Burn this fucking shit to the ground until we expose every one of them. Trump, that is your fucking job. Do your fucking job.
He's part of it too. Alright, let's see here. Let me pause this. What is the Skippy video from the Epstein files? Okay, 3 minutes. Oh my God. Alright, let me pause and go look. Alright, this is the one I just showed you. When I come back, I'll be sharing this with you. Let me pause and go look. I did search. It took me a while to look for it. Definitely, I cannot share them. I see some stuff. It took me a while, but I saw some stuff. I cannot share it. So let's listen to this. If there is any imagery of this, I cannot share it because YouTube already gave that disclaimer thing.
A heads up, this video is going to be pretty disturbing. A gentleman's going to talk about one of the worst videos that he's seen in the Epstein files. Now I want you to pay attention to the look of this man. This man isn't your average blue-haired leftist. This is about as alpha male as you can get. And this was his reaction. This man has a TikTok following, I think of a couple million followers over on TikTok. He doesn't have a political channel, but he's making videos about the Epstein files because he's so disturbed at what he saw, and then he saw Trump's reaction to the Epstein files. And I think he has the same reaction a lot of Americans are gonna have. So in this video, we're gonna cut to a clip of the clip that this man's talking about, just to give you a few seconds of hearing what this man heard. I believe this is the Skippy clip. But hang on, buckle up, let's do this.
Oh, him. That's the one I just saw.
So, I accidentally just got the Skippy video. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please, I'm begging you. I'm telling you right now. Don't go look it up, okay?
This video that you're about to watch just brought a grown man to tears, and it's probably one of the most censored videos on the internet right now, so I'm only gonna play a short clip of it just to give you an idea. We're not sure. This is allegedly John Podesta, but we're not positive that this came from the Anthony Weiner laptop or this was part of the Epstein files. But just to give you an idea of the disturbing shit that's on these laptops and in these files, check this out.
Yeah, I saw it. When I'm editing, I'm gonna cut through it. A couple things came to mind as I was... I saw this when I paused earlier to go search to see if it's something I could share. Definitely, I cannot share it. But what comes to mind is that YouTube knows. Whoever is in control of YouTube, who told whoever work in YouTube to not post things about children and things like that, they know. They are part of it. Because why would they put that, what do you call this, YouTube policy and guideline not to talk about disease of children and things like that? So that was back when. Just look at the screen, I'll put it. Because it was around what they were going to do to Palestine and things like that. So they knew. Oh my God, everything has to burn down. I'm not even making money on those videos because it seems like I'm targeting the exact thing. Okay, I'm going to play this, but most likely I will cut it when I'm editing because I cannot share it.
Me, your father, you're...
Because I have such a huge following on my Instagram and Facebook. This message is for President Trump. It's not. Earlier today, P.S. Trump, fuck you. I'm gonna say that. Earlier today, you said it's time for us to move on from these Epstein files. The fuck are you talking about? Who's been arrested? Who's been arrested? There are people currently right now, like the Skippy, who is in the government. And if you can watch that video and hear that child and say we need to move on, you are worthless in my eyes until you do something. You're a piece of shit.
He's part of it.
You're a piece of shit. We need to burn this motherfucker to the ground until every single person that was involved in this my guys, I know my platform isn't political, but goddamn, I feel like at this point, if you're not saying anything, you're complicit. Like you're okay with what happened to these women, these children, these young boys, these men. And it was done by the highest powers in government. It was done by the most powerful people that are supposed to protect.
Funny's right, because the video you're watching right here is of one of these victims. This is how they torture their victims. Why? Because it's the blood, it's the adrenalized blood. They need their brain to release that specific of endorphins into the bloodstream, and once it mixes into the bloodstream, it turns into adrenalized blood, which for some reason, we don't understand why, these elites crave this like it's methamphetamine.
This is what I said. I compare it with the movie The Pest. The Pest. Go watch that. I think it was, I look it up, I think it was 1997-ish or so, in the 90s. The Pest by this Puerto Rican actor, John Guillermo or something like that. The Pest. All right? They pay him to, so they could hunt him. Okay? So they're pretty much illustrating these things in the movies. Okay? So some stuff in this video I will cut. I took all this time to go search it and he put it in the video. Alright, so what is that? People talking about it? I wonder what else they will find. Let's pause this. Okay, thousands of files have the wrong file extension, and you can view them by following this direction. Okay, let's see here.
Let me know if you think they did this on purpose. So someone recently found out that if you go to the Epstein library on DOJ's website, and now instead of searching for something specific, you search for no images produced and hit search. It's going to show you thousands of PDF documents, and when you open them, it's just going to have this blank page that says no images produced. But if you go to the URL up top and remove the PDF part and then type in MP4 and hit enter, you'll find videos that I guess were labeled with the wrong file extension. For instance, here's an hour-long one of a jail cell camera with a whiteboard placed in front of it. And all the videos should be redacted, but I don't know what's all on there, so just keep that in mind. Let me know if you think they did this.
Yeah. Okay, more people are talking.
I just watched a Skippy commercial and I was like, why is everyone making such a big deal about peanut butter? Because I honestly had no idea. And this stuff should come with a trigger warning, because I click on the Skippy video and I saw something and heard something I was totally unprepared for. While people are saying this is old, it's something I had never seen or heard of before. And now I'm going to go through the rest of the day with that child's screams in my head. That is stuff like nightmares and horror movies are made out of. I seriously have trouble comprehending how people get this sick, depraved pleasure from hurting a child, crying and pleading and begging to stop and for help. And you're like, call me daddy. What's my name? Call me daddy. Bitch, I would like to meet you and call you daddy, because then I would like to introduce you to Louisville. These people's names need to be released. They need to be brought up on charges. They need to serve life sentences in the strictest and harshest of conditions humanly possible. My heart just breaks for these kids. It just breaks.
They're not human. They don't need to be, I mean, I have to go savage on that. They don't need to be alive. Alright? So I'm thinking Palestine, the things that they did. Oh my God. I'm just glad people are waking up. Okay, where was I on the list? All right, next tweet. You were warned, next time do better. All right, so let's listen. Okay, Trump voter cries after discovering welfare cuts aren't just for minorities. 14 seconds.
I need to say I'm sorry. I voted for him, and I thought he cared about folks like me. And now they didn't cut off my food stamps, my check. I don't know how I'm going to buy groceries for me and my...
Alright, so what is this now? Okay, I have to post this again as my response because I said this was going to happen. 6 seconds.
You know, somehow, I told you so just doesn't quite say it.
And the other thing as well, many of these MAGAs live in Republican states. They fully voted repeatedly over and over and over again for Republicans. And meanwhile, Republicans were just thinking of themselves. It's usually Democratic state, New York, New Jersey, California, what other state? Those who usually vote for sensible things. These are the states who usually fund those poor states. And then they don't distribute those money the way it's supposed to be. It goes to the riches and they don't see it. There's this channel I watch sometime. What's his name? I mentioned it on my channel a couple times before. He will go around the country. Is it I forgot his name. Just look on the screen. I will look for his video. Actually, yesterday he had one video that came out. I didn't watch it. I wanted to watch it, but I fell asleep. That's not the story. That YouTube channel usually goes around the country, goes to poor areas to see how Americans are living. Majority of these places are Republicans. Oh my God, there's that here. Lost our food stamps and Medicare. Lost our food stamp and Medicaid. We owe the libs. Okay, I voted for racism, not poverty. And then when they see African American working their butt off and they're enjoying whatever the fruit of their labor, they get jealous. Next tweet. Let's pause this. Tulsi Gabbard was looking for voter fraud in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rican can vote, but if I could be wrong with this, I think they will have to come in the state or be living or associate with certain part in the mainland. Okay, let me look it up. How do Puerto Rican vote affect election? Okay, let's see. Yeah, that's what I sort of thought. Okay, so this is the question that I asked. How Puerto Rican votes work? All right, Puerto Ricans are U.S. citizens but cannot vote for president or have full congressional representation while residing on the island. That's what I thought. They will have to come to the mainland, be part of one of the states. Could be, let's say, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. They have to have some association on those states to go vote in that respective state. But in Puerto Rico, they don't. Okay, as it is a territory, not a state, they can vote in presidential primaries and local island election, but cannot vote in the general presidential election unless they move to the U.S. mainland. That's what I thought. That's what I was talking on top of my head. Then I was like, let me make sure. All right, so that's what I thought. All right, let's go back to X. All right, so let's listen to this. 2 minutes and 36 seconds.
Reuters and then CNN did stories that Intelligence Director Tulsi Gabbard's office obtained and tested voting machines in Puerto Rico for voter fraud. That's why they got them. And I have questions. Reuters first reported a team working for President Donald Trump's spy chief Tulsi Gabbard last spring led an investigation into Puerto Rico's voting machines, said Gabbard's office and 3 sources familiar with the previously unreported events. The sources said the goal was to work with the FBI to investigate claims that Venezuela had hacked voting machines in Puerto Rico, but added the probe did not produce any clear evidence of Venezuela interference. First of all the entities that could hack and interfere in Puerto Rico, it was Venezuela, which feels very like, they both speak Spanish, must be them kind of thing. But in addition, as CNN points out, the extraordinary move comes amid Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard's broader search for voter fraud at the behest of President Donald Trump, who falsely claimed the 2020 election was rigged, despite numerous court rulings and audits debunking that claim. Gabbard was present at the FBI agents executed a search warrant in Fulton County, Georgia last week related to the 2020 election. These investigations are typically linked to the 2020 presidential election, which I think is worth noting because Puerto Rico cannot vote in the presidential election. See, Puerto Ricans cannot vote in the U.S. presidential election because they live in a territory and not a state. Because it's a territory, it does not possess any electoral college votes, and that's what dictates who the president is. So it would make no point for them to vote. They do not vote in the presidential election. They do vote in the primaries to help select who will represent a party, but Donald Trump won the primary. He was the candidate. So what is the fraud? What are they looking for? There are those that speculate that this had nothing to do with the 2020 presidential election and everything to do with intimidation.
Just making noise.
Because residents of Puerto Rico can't vote for president, but their anger at Trump is still shaping the race, as reported by PBS. And it seems like it could be one of those situations of, if you're not willing to kiss the ring, you can get the boot. I can't think of any reasonable, logical reason to test those machines and to come in with that kind of force outside of intimidation.
Okay. Thinking on top of my head, I think the only time territories vote can be implemented if there is some sort of a tie. Let's say the 50 states vote for a presidency and it's a tie, and I think this is where they will go to the territories for them to vote to break the tie. I think this is the only time it will be count. Let me pause and go look. Okay, so I was wrong. Okay, if a U.S. presidency ties, do territories vote to break the ties? The answer is no. U.S. territories do not vote to break a presidential tie if a U.S. presidential election results in an electoral college tie. 269 to 269. The Constitution dictates a contingency election where the House of Representatives dictates the presidency, with each state delegation receive 1 vote and the Senate elect the vice president. Okay, so Okay, I was wrong. There was a time where I saw they were going to the territories. I thought it would be for something like that. So I was wrong, okay? That's why I usually go and check myself. All right, so let's leave that alone. I need to finish this video. I have 3 more, and then that'll be it. 2 more after this. UK, US. All right. How can any decent person want to move on from children being, there's the R word here for children. We need to prosecute the abusers. Trump and his administration want Americans to move on from Epstein. Meanwhile, other nations are taking the sex trafficking scandal seriously. Story, Rolling Stone, politics, okay? That's what they thought. They thought by releasing one of the Epstein file, people move on because they've been training. They've been starting to train Americans, and they got the mainstream media at their fingertip. They release one, American will move on, create another noise. Nope, 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 nope. This time, they're not following the squirrels. Okay, did we hear children doing things against their will? Is that what I heard? They go back. We're not gonna follow the squirrel. Okay, I told you that. Okay, I told you, many of my followers. In the US, you mess with dogs and children, you are done with. All right, let's see it. Trump government is blowing off the Epstein scandal, other nations aren't. The international fallout over the Epstein scandal is laying bare how America's justice system has decayed under Trump. All right, that was February 15, 2026. Okay, because it is alleged he might have been doing he was part of it. Prosecute all abusers. There's the R word again, financiers, congressional members, and staff that did take it seriously. The pedo enablers that took money from Epstein and his network media that then take victims seriously. The bruised orange muffin that is trying to pretend this isn't serious. Americans are taking it seriously. If you are outside of the US, you don't see the seriousness of it. Americans are, okay? Including the MAGAs are taking it seriously, okay? Once you mess with children, that you're done with. A lot of people who've been prosecuted, I'm not talking about the Epstein thing, just idiots, who decided to do it and they got caught and they've been charged and they put them in prison, they don't come out alive. Okay, even criminals in jail, once they know why you went there, you did things to children, they will unalive you. All right, next tweet. While Trump was in the White House, Chief of Strategists and Senior Counselor Steve Bannon and Jeffrey Epstein were in constant contact. Does anyone believe Bannon was not relaying Epstein messages to the pedophile president? 1 minute and 11 seconds. Let's listen.
We're not talking enough about the close relationship between Donald Trump's senior advisor, Steve Bannon, and Jeffrey Epstein. And that, to me, is one of the big takeaways from the Epstein files. While Bannon was regularly communicating with and advising Donald Trump, he is also communicating with and advising Jeffrey Epstein. Bannon and Epstein plotted to try to take down the Pope. Bannon was helping Epstein with his PR crises that were happening, all while at the same time being an integral part of Republican politics, being an integral part of what the President of the United States was doing in the White House. There was even a period of time where Bannon served in the White House as an official senior advisor to Donald Trump. And that relationship is not being scrutinized enough. Because in a lot of ways, Bannon could have been acting as kind of a conduit, right? Trump never spoke with Epstein directly while he was in the White House, and there's no files suggesting that. But let's say Epstein told Bannon that he wants to get rid of the Pope, then Bannon tells Trump he wants to get rid of the Pope, right? There is this intermediary situation happening, and it's not being probed enough, in my opinion. Spread the word, follow for more.
It's crazy. They are connected. There's more people talking here. This woman enthusiastically supported Trump's election and is now desperate because ICE kidnapped her son. Would you help her? I won't. Okay, I listened to it. It's in, I think, in Spanish, so I'm not going to play it again. I get why Epstein name tied to anyone in power raises alarm. However, suggestion Bannon relay messages without evidence is speculation. It's correlation, not causation. Let's focus on facts that can actually hold people accountable. I go by what I can actually prove. Okay, so there's all of that. Pretty much saying almost the same thing. This is my last one. Okay, let's pause this. Okay. He almost missed it. Then he stopped, turned back, and returned the salute because respect mattered. In the middle of deep thought, Barack Obama still made time for the soldier in front of him. That's presidential. That's character. That's leadership. Class act, always. 40 seconds. I muted because of the music. So he's in deep thought right now. There's the soldier, salute him. He didn't see it. Probably just thinking of, you know, whatever task he's gonna be doing. There he is. Oh, he probably just remembered. Oh, I didn't salute the soldier. Showing respect. Okay, so that's that. Okay, there's a lot for me to edit. I have 2 videos from yesterday. I need to, the day before. I didn't record anything yesterday. 2 from the day before, and I think 3 or 4 this morning. So a lot to work, and I don't need them to pile up. So let's go. Okay, I need to look at this before I make it public. So please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. All right, so that's it. And I plan on doing some design. I think I did one yesterday. Go on my shop and see if there's some. I know there's some old one during the election I did, but I think I did one design yesterday. I think it has to do with, what did I say? It has a flag and what was the design? Resist, to resist. Okay, I need to do some more with the same thing with resist. I have some ideas. So if you could support me through that, I'll appreciate it. All right, so that's it. Thank you for watching.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better